I always press play way too soon. I probably should have got some music or something. Anyway, so hi everyone. This is somewhat a follow-up from the last video I did. But this also might be a standalone. Basically, God is letting me know it's okay to kind of speak up a little bit. So I was trying my best to only give parts of the story. Y'all know how that go. We try to be respectful, protective, keep it in the house, keep it in the family, and all this other stuff. But now it's coming to my attention that because we have so many creative writers in my family, that they writing a story of their own. And I know the biggest liars, you know what I'm saying? We all know the biggest liars, whether it be my generation or my parents' generation. We all know who steals money from their mother and punch themselves in the face and, you know what I'm saying, fuck around with their mama boyfriend who worked for the police department. We all know the nasty, raunchy people that was friends with us, right, on Littleton, and then continued that lifestyle, never took care of their fucking kids. But what I didn't know is that wasn't the only bum, I guess, in my family. So I'm learning a little bit more. So apparently there was a era in time. Hey, welcome in, whoever that is. There was an era in time where I was living in Charlotte. I was doing very well for myself, taking my time, you know, kind of building certain things back up. And a family member of mine asked me, like, where do you live now? And by reflex, I was just like, somewhere different. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I knew you would come in. I was like somewhere different or something. Like, I didn't even want to give any information. You know what I'm saying? So basically, once I did give her the information, all of a sudden, like, my home got compromised. Basically, I had an illegal eviction happen. When I say illegal eviction, guys, I have spent 5 years working for the United States Postal Service, which means I know very well how the mail system works, right? So one of the things that that's clear is when you stamp a letter, where it comes from. So basically, long story short, my eviction notice, letter, whatever, never came from the sheriff's office. It never came, you know, by way of court. It just came straight from the rent office, which y'all know that's not a proper eviction. So from that time or whatever, I was trying to figure out what my next moves would be. I was invited to come up north to spend time with my grandparents, where my home, 445. Y'all know 445. Weekway section, you know what I'm saying? So I went up to Jersey with my child during the Thanksgiving, Christmas season. I was just up there kind of feeling it out, you know, seeing what the situation was. I came back down, gathered my things, put them in storage, and then I came back up in January. Now, the significance with January is that's my grandfather's birthday. I'm one of the only family members in the family that is September 7th, so I'm 9/7. My grandfather is 1/7, okay? So he had just turned 77 that year. So I was laughing because spiritually, his grandmother sent me up there. Anybody that's spiritual, you know what that means. If you're not spiritual, look it up. If you don't believe in it, I don't give a fuck, okay? Let's just pretend I'm telling a great monologue at this point, because everybody else in my life is actors, right? So long story short, I go up there to visit. I'm thinking this is a normal, safe, great situation. And I was invited to go ahead and get a job, you know, and kind of help start reestablishing myself. So I'm turning my little food over, y'all. So I did. I took that invitation, and as I was up there, I started noticing my son was uncomfortable. My son was extremely uncomfortable. So I just paid a little more attention, because that's what we do when we love our children, right? We pay attention, right? Oh, okay. So, I was checking on my son, trying to see what's going on, whatever. There was another family member over there, and because that child is not over 18, I'm not going to speak on that. But that child's mother also knew that my grandfather had some weird shit going on. They knew more than me as far as the extent of the weird shit, because they were invited to suck my grandfather's penis as a teenager to practice. Yes, Deacon Al. Hey, Deacon Al. Hey, Granddad. So this ex-vet and Deacon was already doing pedophilic things before I could even be thought of, right? So now here I am, a grown woman with my child, and I will never. So instead of staying, because he knew I was in a place where I needed to stay, Instead of staying while he was attempting to groom my son, yes, I caught him literally catcalling him from the bathroom to his bedroom. You do not call a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, a child on the spectrum to your bedroom without the adult for no reason. You don't go hiding in the back. And see, that's the beautiful part about that living room, that little dining room. Y'all know 445. There was a mirror right there. So I started placing my son behind the table. So it's basically, I could hear him. It would take extra movements to move. He can't be moved. Like, nobody can't come get his hand and take him. So he's across the table. My grandfather's walking past behind me, and he literally does this to my son. Okay? So from that moment, I called 211. I went to what I thought was a trusted friend's house, and I packed my shit and I left. Now, I want to let y'all know the Stockholm Syndrome is real, because my grandmother knew. She heard me cussing my grandfather out, telling him, like, yo, I'm going to tell your son that this is what you up to. Like, you want to say weird shit. You've survived cancer. You've survived cancer. You know what I'm saying? And you still out here on that weirdo shit. So, you know, I was disgusted, but it was more important to get my son to safety. So I went into a shelter. I went into an emergency shelter in Newark, New Jersey, or in Irvington, whatever, like off of Central Ave or some shit. Springfield Ave, my bad, Springfield Ave. With as much as I could carry with me. Okay? And my child. All right? So I went there. They asked me what's going on. I tell them as much as I can, but still try to keep it a little vague, because at 77 years old with a fresh COVID shot, I didn't think he was going to make it in jail. You know what I'm saying? And then I already knew my weird ass family was going to go ahead and, well, why would you tell them? And da-da-da-da-da, instead of worrying about the fucking child, who is the one who still has the most life left to live on this earth. You know what I'm saying? So I bet y'all don't know too much about that. But I called my parents, well, my mother, you know how that goes. And I called a cousin. The cousin said that she was going to allow me to come over, this, that, and the third. I started gathering my things. My grandfather told me to my face that that I was going to regret this. My grandfather got a straight raise on the front window, y'all. My grandfather told me to my face, you're going to regret this. He told me I would regret confronting him for attempting to touch my child. Okay? I'm going to explain something to y'all. I will never regret speaking up about my child. Ever. I didn't regret speaking up about Jeff. I don't regret speaking up about Tavy when Aunt Nene nasty ass boyfriend Daryl touched her. And I'll tell the next motherfucker. Unless that's an agreement y'all have out loud. So Vicky's daughter lives literally right, like granddad room's here, her room is here. So while I'm confronting him about touching a 5-year-old little boy, she's on the phone talking about how she gonna be wearing some boy shorts and how she gonna be doing this, and she's sitting there with literally coochie cutter shorts on, y'all, titties out, just chilling. I see that, and I'm like, what the fuck can I do about it? So I continue to pack my shit. I had maybe $30 on me, you know what I'm saying? Got the biggest Uber I can get, packed my stuff in the Uber, and told my I asked my aunt first. I don't know why I asked that pissy asshole. That's the nastiest bitch I've ever seen. I implore y'all to go see what the third floor look like now. That motherfucker don't even have running water, but she fucking in cars in their yard. Nasty hoe. So this tramp, who was acting like she understood that, my grandfather still got some ways or whatever to protect my child, it was a front. I was like, yo, I don't feel safe staying down here. Do you mind if I come up there until I figure out somewhere to go? My aunt laughed in my face and brought my son a sugar cookie from school. I want to mention that because, she works at the school. Hey, Sabrina, my friend who worked at the school in Jersey. You know who works at schools? AKAs. Yeah. Anyway, so I never put these connections together, but I did remove myself from the home, for the safety of my son. The light-skinned lady, at the shelter who wears pink and green, she told me that I had to figure out something else because the director of the shelter told me I had to figure out something else because they're not getting paid for me. Meaning like my stamps and stuff was still from North Carolina. So technically, that I wasn't a benefit to them. I'm going to say it out loud because everybody need to hear this. It doesn't matter if you make a fucking dollar. If God is testing your heart, God is testing your heart. And it's the stupidest people that turn right around and spit in motherfuckers' faces and don't even realize who they are. So she basically called DYFS, okay, and pretending to be me, and told them that I voluntarily want them to come pick me up. Never still realizing I'm being set up. So I go, and I'm sitting there with a big ass duffel bag that was donated to me from the shelter with all my things in it. Because I was, once again, living in this home where my child just got touched. Okay? So, I'm sorry if I'm yelling, y'all. This is just amazing to me. It's fucking amazing to me. It's been months. I spoke about this shit in October. Ain't nobody saying nothing yet. Y'all motherfuckers sit on the phone all day long and talk while she delivering mail. You got other motherfuckers, you know, this, that, and the third. Talk all day long. But not one person said, yo, are you okay? You know who asked was I okay? February 7th. Tasha daughter. She messaged me and said, are you okay? That's the only communication that I have gotten from any human that knows my integrity as a woman, that knows my work ethic, because I did do 4.5 years, 5 years at the fucking post office. I did do all these fucking cash apps for y'all when I say y'all, I'm talking about my cousins and shit, when the family would send them to me. I did do applications for y'all to get y'all jobs, and just for me to watch you turn them down in front of me, Tavy. I did, okay? But for some reason, y'all stay on my dick. Y'all stay talking to my grandmother. Y'all stay gossiping. So that little gaggle of hands, y'all, fuck y'all. Like, you know, respectfully, fuck y'all. So, once I was removed from the shelter, then I was in the DYFS facility. And I'm asking these people, I don't know how this works. I do not want to press charges against my grandfather. I would be, you know, like basically burnt by my family. Like my family gonna fuck me up if I ever, you know. And not saying that they said that, it's just mentally, I was not okay with trying to put my grandfather behind bars. You know what I'm saying? Like, just stop. Like, you know, you paddle somebody's hand, shit. Maybe somebody should have smacked the shit out of him. I don't know. But I wasn't looking for that. I was just looking to protect my child. Okay? So, whatever reason they told y'all I was in Jersey or left Jersey, I want y'all to shelf that shit and remember the truth now. Because, see, it's always different when we don't know no better. But now, y'all can hear it straight from the horse's mouth. I was purposely being quiet because I was in communication with family. So I thought family was looking out and going to let people know the truth. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm figuring out, no, family needs me to stay in a certain little corner and to stay giving. So if I wasn't giving, then they take that shit from me. The ways that they taking it from me, I had no idea. So anyway, back to the little DYFS situation. They literally shipped me back down south. When I say this, y'all, I want you to hear me. And I pray, I know who's in this room, and I pray that this wakes up something in you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not a liar. The only thing I used to lie about was candy and snacks. Let me make that very clear. The only thing I ever lied about most of my life was candy and snacks. And we had some little half-ass girl program where they had us make $1 for candy. And I took them dollars. And what I do, Tasha? I went and bought some candy. That's the most I do. But other than that, I am a very integral, you know, moral woman. All right? And nobody can take that from me. And I'm hardworking than a motherfucker. All right? Working for the post office, and then I did work after that. I worked daytime and nighttime. There's nothing I won't do for my child. All right? So, basically, they called, they said, you have to have a safe place to go, ma'am. And I'm like, well, I'm telling you, I don't have a place to go. That's where I was going to be living. So they're like, well, you know, technically there's nothing wrong with you keeping your child. But if you don't have a safe place for him, then, you know, kind of like, we got to take your child. We don't help the adult. We help the children. So now I'm really confused because the shelter lady told me that she was sending me somewhere that could help me better. So now I'm sitting in DYFS with all of my belongings, well, the amount of belongings I could carry. And yes, I'm watching my front door because I don't know how bad these motherfuckers don't want me to talk. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know there's been several hits put on my life. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't know I know about the motorcycle crews that's involved. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't know I know that the Masons are involved. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't know that I know that opportunities have been taken from me by people that I thought was close to me. Why is there conservatorships over my name? Why is there power of attorneys over my name? Do it look like I can't read and write to you? Do it look like I was left off bad and bougie? Oh, okay. Anyway, so basically, I made a phone call to to my original handler. I like to call it that now. My original handler, I got on the phone and, you know, that's why I'm thinking I would be safe. And I said, hey, you know, I'm at this office, you know what happened. You know, I got to come back home. And I was immediately cut off and abruptly told, oh, you going to Zay house, right? Zay meaning my son's father. I was told to go back to the abuser who kicked me in my stomach at 9 months pregnant. I was told to go back to the nigga that literally would shoulder check me and be like, bitch, and start fighting me. Okay? It's a reason why I was almost 300 pounds back then and my face looked how it looked. It wasn't food. I ain't have enough money for the food. Remember? All my family's eating my money up. Oh, okay. So I was assigned to go back to my son's father's house, which by the time I got on the phone with him, I'm not about to argue with you. And then I can't tell you what happened because you're going to try to take my son from me. You're going to pit the fact that my grandfather's a perv against me and take my son. So I'm already knowing how this is about to go. So I was like, listen, I'll talk to you about it more when I get there, but we're in an emergency situation and we need to come down there. He's like, well, it's not, listen, this all I got. Like this the most I can tell you. That's all I got. So I make it back down to North Carolina. They bought me a plane ticket. Okay. I have proof of all of this. So if anybody need proof, the FBI probably already got it at this point. Fuck it. Like, but I could show plane tickets. I could show you the pictures that we took that day. Shit. But anyway, we basically drove to the airport. The social worker bought the ticket and then we got on the flight to come back to Charlotte. Once we arrived at Charlotte, my son's father was there and there was a follow-up visit, by Child Protective Services just to close out the case. Once they came down, I asked my son's father to get my son a bed because he still had a toddler bed. Xavier, come here. Let me show them how tall you are. Okay, well, when you're done, let me know. Yeah, so basically, my son is probably about shoulder height. My son is 5 feet tall, damn near. You understand what I'm saying? And he didn't even have a proper bed. He had a bed where his feet hung off. So after I convinced his dad to go ahead and get a futon from Walmart, that same day the social worker came, made sure everything was cool at the house. From that day, my son's father showed his ass, okay? He already had a weird ass nigga living with him. He had his brother and he had his sister and his mom, God rest her soul, living with him. So that wasn't a surprise or something not known, but we hadn't lived under the same roof with his with the brother that had just got out of jail. Well, apparently that brother touched my son's penis. Like play fighting days later, you know, like just through natural time, not like the next day or nothing, but he basically touched his pee-pee. Whether it was a mistake or not, I don't know. So I went to my son's father to handle it and not me, because that's not my family member. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure you know your brother, so you'll know if it was an accident, blah, blah, blah. But the way my son said it, y'all, it wasn't no fucking accident. My son said, Uncle Tario tried to touch my pee-pee. And I said, what? He said, he tried to touch my pee-pee. He said, but Rain saved me. Rain is his girl auntie, the little sister, younger, number 7 of those children. And I knew he was telling the truth because the older sister came through one time and we were talking and we were piecing it up. And that same brother kissed her on the mouth. And I remember thinking, anytime there's some perverted weird shit going on, it don't start with children. Children ain't just beating on each other and touching on each other. It come from adults and it trickle on down. And I just remember looking at him like, damn. So you're the reason why your nephew is always depressed and all down and sad and weird and shit, huh? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I brought my son into his dad. His dad was brushing his teeth. I closed the bedroom door and the bathroom door so we could have a bit of privacy in the home. And I said, go ahead and tell your dad what you told me. He said, Uncle Tario touched my pee-pee. My son's father took the toothbrush out of his mouth, bent down to his face and said, who told you to say that? And I backed him up from his face. I told my son to go in the room and I said, that's not how we handle that. It never once dawned on me that that's a reflex to a motherfucker that knew that that's what the fuck was going on. So now I'm going to just say it. Y'all weird. Y'all are weird. Y'all are weird. But anyway, so once I saw that happen, now it's a countdown on how long it's safe to be in this, Environment. Needless to say, it wasn't going to be too long. I knew that much. But I started noticing my son would basically be sent to monitor me. Every part of the house, anywhere I would go, either my son or my son's father, it would just have to be someone within a realm to kind of come bother me. At this time, if you guys are wondering, because I know everybody lied on me on how I make my money, I do readings. I do life coaching. I give great advice, just like my mother. I'm very multifaceted. I create art. Tasha, I know you're really big into arts and crafts and stuff. So like this is like some Mod Podge I'm doing on journals. You know what I'm saying? I create collage art. Let me see. Oh, yep. It won't let me rotate, y'all. But this is a 3D art piece I did with crystals, things like that. So that type of stuff is what I was doing. And I was basically doing sessions for maybe $30, $40, you know, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I did them in my grandparents' home. I did them in a shelter. I do them now. There has been nothing that has changed about that. I also had other modalities. So I had like Instacart, where Instacart was sending me my card. So I was going to be able to do Instacart. I also had DoorDash active. I just needed a vehicle. So these are the ways that I would make money. Let me show y'all. Hey, baby. Show y'all how tall he is. Okay. So how was he going to be able to sleep in the toddler bed?
I've been doing this all this time. I've been trying.
That's how small it was?
Yeah, I had to keep doing that and like.
Well, thank you. I'm proud of you for speaking up. I didn't even think you was gonna say nothing. But yeah. So we were really having a time. Mm-hmm. Okay. Once, like I said, the situation was established at my son's father house as being not the best, you know, not the safest. I'm like, yeah, let me figure out my next step. But I was in communication with my same friend from Jersey. Who I thought was my friend from Jersey, an old classmate. So apparently that AKA, who somehow had a brown skinned friend who passed away suddenly. All of a sudden, she and I were really close, you know, to the point where she knew my business. I never thought nothing of it. I just thought, you know, that's what happens. You step up as a friend when somebody needs you. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I want to say this out loud. So all of the adults who watched me grow up, I appreciate you. I did hear those conversations. I heard Tangi, Tasha, Teresa, Sharon, Nicole, all y'all telling her to calm the fuck down on how she was on my ass because it was not necessary. I was gonna be a cool bitch either way. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she gonna have a bunch of babies. She gonna where? Why? Why would I do that? Where? Oh, okay. I was already tired of taking care of my cousins and brothers and sisters. And when I say taking care of, I don't mean literally. I just mean 9 a.m. to what, 7, 8 p.m., right? We playing freeze tag. We playing, you know, red light, green light. We right in. We got to cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? That's damn near taken care of. So like I said, I was not comfortable with that. So that was never my intent. That was never my focus. I was actually focused on school. I was actually very comfortable with school. Even the situation with school, let me make sure I clear that up. At Arts High, we had an incident where they had to come to the school where me and 2 other people was caught in the basement. It was Kashif and Kashandra, Krish, I forgot her name. It's a long C name. Long story short, she was a hoe and he was thirsty. I was still a virgin. Okay, because I don't know which story got told. But long story short, we got caught in the basement because I told her, oh, you like me? She said, yeah. I said, oh, okay, well, if you like me, you do that for me. And I pointed, you know, take care of him because I'm not doing that. I'm such a girl. I'm a diva. I'm not doing that. So we got quit. We got in trouble. But the catch is, go sit down, baby. But the catch is the way that I was handled and the way that conversation went was as if I had done something. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know if I got expelled or I got suspended or whatever, but I never parted anything, bent nothing, took nothing. I didn't do nothing. I was just there facilitating because shit, she was already a thought. And I do apologize, but I'm sure if she talk about her past properly and she take accountability, she knows she was a fucking thought. Because who the fuck is not a virgin at 14 and already fucking? So anyway, after that situation, basically I got talked to like I was a piece of fucking shit. I got told, well, there's no need for you to wear the promise ring because you're not keeping up the promise. Yes, the fuck I was. Yes, I was. But I'm also a teenager growing up in Newark, New Jersey. You understand what I'm saying? So let's not be unrealistic. Okay? But I'm starting to notice now that the picture that was painted of me, thank you, sis. Thank you so much. I love you. The picture that they painted of me was that I was some wild hoe or some weird, I don't know, like just this weird thing that was just trying to be unleashed. That was never the case. That has never been the case. In order for me to get up at a certain time, in order for me to sew people's work pants together, in order for me to stay on the phone to pay all the bills, how would I know anything about clicking over to paying PSE&G? How would I know about getting on the fax phone and doing this? How would I know about starting up the computer so you could play your games on the computer and get your little points in before you leave for work? How would I know about using the humectants on Tootie's hair because she has 2 different textures? But you telling the world that I never did her hair. You telling the world that I never raised a kid, I never watched the kids. How the fuck you working at 7 in the morning if the kid got to get on a bus at 7:30? If you clocking in at 7, then somebody had to watch the kids. So can we please dead that narrative? Okay? I am very comfortable speaking about anything I have been through because I've endured it and I've overcome it. All right. And this season, what I realized is as I came back down here, you guys, my Masonic grandfather put the hit on my life. My Masonic grandfather put the hit on my life because he'd rather me die. He'd rather them collect whatever fucking money they've been collecting off my back than for me to speak the truth about his nasty conniving ass. And that's even worse than the pastor that was doing the same thing. So now when you really boil down to it, was the church ever a real godly church? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how all the demons congregated together and figured out that it would be easy to make money through the face of a church. Let's talk about it, okay? So, like I said, I still wasn't talking. I've still been just moving. I've still been trying to reassure my son's mental health. Okay, I did not go to court or get a lawyer and pursue the false eviction because I had not had time or the means. Which brings me back to this. I am aware of numerous people involved in continuing to financially suppress me because my mental is so expansive that if I get even a couple of dollars that I can supply for myself for the rest of my life. Y'all understand what I'm saying to you? Just imagine if all y'all cash apped $100 right now, I would be able to make sure I can get transportation to get my son back and forth to an in-school. He wouldn't have to do homeschool. He wouldn't have to do homeschool if he wasn't being kept up all night. You know, because narcs like to stay up all night. So my son has been literally emotionally drained daily because in North Carolina, we both have equal rights to my child. You understand where I'm coming from? Even though my son let me know that his father has literally choked him while he was nonverbal and screamed in his face, "Don't tell mommy." Even though I know about the gallons of moonshine that sit in his closet that he faithfully goes down to, what is it called? I forgot what it's called. It's like a bargain liquor place that he goes to down by South Carolina border to go get his liquor. You know what I'm saying? He buys it, you know, payday wise, and then go hide it up in the closet with some gummies and shit. So most of his body is made up of what? Fucking, what you call them things? Parasites. He easily controlled. You tell that motherfucker some dumb shit, he gonna do it. My son's father is not generous. So he pays me under the table, not official child support. But I found that real funny because you paying me out of my own money, huh, bro? Oh, you didn't think I never find out. So anyway, back to the subject. The main point is my life has been in danger. I've had men literally assigned to date me, been placed in situations where basically I would go that route. I mean, good looking men too, child. Like they put me through the ringer. Like, yeah. So what you do is you get her, you make, you know, I forgot what it's called. What you call a love bomb. You make her feel like you in love. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm a single father too. Da 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 da. This mug, listen, y'all. This mug wasn't just a single father. This was a single father who was on the down low, who sniffs coke daily, on probation from another assault on a female. And then when I'm asking him, like, oh, okay, where your mother from? You know, I'm learning, you know, over time, this nigga. Where your mother from? Oh, she from Newark. She from Newark. She from Newark. She worked down at the courthouse or something? Or is she just an old hoe? She like Diddy mama, huh? Because y'all nasty motherfuckers got some weird shit going on. And when my old friend had gave me her Netflix, I seen it had her name, her family name, this one. Then I saw Dexter. And I remember thinking, I don't know that many Dexters in Newark. So I asked her, is that the same Dexter that I would know from my mom and my... Oh, no, I don't think so. Yeah, bitch, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There's no way that we all live within 5-mile radius of each other. Newark ain't that big. It's a lot of places, but it's not that big. Ask me how I know. Because a bitch could count. I'm down here walking miles. I have to walk a mile to the store. Y'all put me in a position where I have to walk a mile to the store, 45 minutes. So yeah, if you could get anywhere in Newark in 45 minutes, that's a mile. You're welcome. You understand what I'm saying? So I just find it funny how I am able to literally put together the motorcycle groups, gangs, whatever, you know, the Masonic Brotherhood connections. You know what I'm saying? You pay a person a couple dollars. You pay a little crackhead a couple dollars. The motherfucker will watch you all goddamn day, won't you, bitch? Got to take a bunch of cigarette breaks just so she can hear me properly because I move around on purpose in my home. Then we talking about housing. One thing about housing is all the women are coming from the same place of shelter. We're all coming from a place of need, which then reminded me of my grandfather. So now that I found out about the hidden cameras, I'm not so surprised. Yeah, I found out about the hidden cameras y'all got going on in this motherfucker. So once again, y'all could pass this video to who you need to. You better fuck around and pass it to a goddamn private investigator. Pass it to a motherfucker electrician to come through here and goddamn boo, 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 boo. Because whoever does, I'm going to make sure you get paid real good from this Netflix special. I'm going to make sure you get paid real good from that fucking money. First lick. You get the first lick. Go to the dark web and go get my motherfucking pictures and videos. Y'all stop playing with me. I got niggas all around this city that know my body look like that should never even seen it. Never. Oh, well, why would you have those videos? Because, bitch, I'm grown. I was with my man. That's why. That's all. But they want to paint me like something that I have not ever been. Do you understand what I'm saying to y'all? When I'm meeting these celebrities at these businesses, when I met Luke Kuechly, when I met V, Pretty V, when I'm meeting these people, when I'm helping these fucking real estate agents and shit at work, everybody understood that I am who I am. When I helped that producer in Maryland and I got $50, you know what I'm saying? After I just had a nigga have a whole seizure in my house, tore my house up. You know, all they focused on was, oh, your house is a little messy. Yeah, bitch, it is. Because I'm an active parent. But nobody realized that I housed motherfuckers in a Kiki&B, an Airbnb. I made that shit to a hotel. Everybody had a place to sleep, a place to stay. It was comfortable. I went and got the waters. I did what I was supposed to do. I say that to say anything that I do thoroughly. I do with integrity. And I'm upfront with who I am. Okay? I want to make it clear there's going to be plenty more parts to the story. I just needed to go ahead and start off because, see, I didn't want to bridge my human trafficking to what happened in Jersey. But now I know for sure it's connected. So they were paid to drag my body to go overdose me. I've already been poisoned several times. I've lost 2 children in 2024, 2 unborn children. Because it was supposed to happen. That's what they intended for me to do. Because they know how I feel about my connection with my children or birth or you know what I'm saying? Life itself, wanting to have a family. They took everything that I would want to be and everything that I want to do and basically made it like, oh, this will tear up. I still won't take a sniff of nothing. I still don't drink half as bad as y'all motherfuckers. I just want y'all to know that for a fact. As you can see here, my skin, see, I can smell when liquor come out y'all pores. I can see y'all. Not me. That has never been me. And I won't let them paint me as that. All right. Like I said, I'll be back. I'll be, kind of giving a little bit more on certain things. Maybe how the doctors are connected or how they all like farm us basically to the damn abortion clinic. Cause they fuck all the bitches. They send them all to the abortion clinic. And now this doctor done stole ovaries and shit. Yeah, I need a doctor. I need a new doctor to do a separate view on my body and make sure I got my second ovary because that bitch ain't low either. I already know what happened at the doctor. But they didn't expect me to have this much coherence. And just because I'm quiet or just because I don't run around, don't mean I don't know shit. I know it all. I've been knowing it all since Adderall, right? Y'all remember me on Honor Roll. Y'all remember me at Art Tie. Y'all know I have a brain. And I'm here to use it, and I'm here to speak up for these damn children. I love y'all, and have a great night.